one poor farm boy from the Great Depression who delivered newspapers just to help his family eat. Now his descendants are worth $247 billion, more than the GDP of entire countries like Finland, Portugal, or New Zealand. The Walton family didn't just get rich, they built an empire so massive it employs more people than the populations of 15 US states. Walmart generates more revenue in a single year than most Fortune 500 companies are worth entirely. But this story of unimaginable wealth started with betrayal, failure, and a man who refused to quit even when he lost everything. This is how Sam Walton went from scrubbing floors and milking cows to creating a dynasty that quietly controls more of America's economy than most people realize.
We knew so little about the variety store business that we had to take the book that was written by Ben Franklin and apply the principles and apply the controls, the merchandising programs that they outlined for us. But of course, you and Noah and I, myself, a little bit, we added on, didn't we?
That's exactly right. But
we were mavericks even then, and we started doing strange things like cranking up ice cream machines on the sidewalk on Saturday night, running popcorn on the other end of the sidewalk, hawking anything we could hawk on that looked like it might have a chance to sell wherever.
Chapter 1: The Depression-Era Farm Boy. Sam Walton was born March 29, 1918 in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, right into the teeth of economic hardship. His father Thomas worked as a farmer, but the farm barely produced enough to feed the family, let alone turn a profit. When the Great Depression hit in 1929, the Waltons joined millions of American families desperately searching for any way to survive. Thomas moved the family constantly, from Oklahoma to Missouri, then to different towns across the Midwest, always chasing the next opportunity, never finding stability. Young Sam learned early that nothing was handed to you. If you wanted to eat, you worked. By age 13, Sam was already hustling. He delivered newspapers at dawn, milked cows for his mother's small dairy operation, then delivered milk bottles to neighbors after school and football practice. Every penny mattered. Sam watched his father make tiny margins on small deals just to keep the family afloat. He watched his mother build a modest milk business through pure grit. Home life was tense. His father was rarely around, always traveling for work, which created constant friction between his parents. Sam later described them as the two most quarrelsome people to ever live together. To escape the chaos, Sam threw himself into Boy Scouts, sports, and school leadership roles. Hard work became his refuge and his identity. Sam graduated high school in 1935 and enrolled at the University of Missouri. To pay his way through college, he worked constantly, delivering newspapers, waiting tables for meal credits, taking any odd job he could find. After graduating in 1940, Sam landed a trainee position at JCPenney, earning $75 a week. But he struggled. His bookkeeping was terrible because he hated making customers wait while he dealt with paperwork. His boss threatened to fire him, telling Sam he had no future in retail. The only thing that saved him was his natural salesmanship, which earned him extra commission. When World War II broke out, Sam joined the Army, served in the Intelligence Corps, rose to captain, and met his future wife Helen while stationed in Oklahoma. They married on Valentine's Day, 1943. Chapter 2: The Ben Franklin Store and the Betrayal. When the war ended in 1945, Sam had a wife and newborn to support. With a $20,000 loan from his father-in-law and $5,000 of his own savings, Sam bought a Ben Franklin variety store in Newport, Arkansas. This was a risky move. Millions of small stores had failed during the Depression and war years. The particular store Sam bought was losing money badly, and Sam made two critical mistakes right from the start. First, he agreed to pay 5% of sales as rent, later discovered to be the highest rate anyone had ever paid for a variety store. Second, and far more devastating, Sam signed a lease with no renewal clause. He didn't realize this oversight would eventually destroy everything he was about to build. Despite these handicaps, Sam succeeded beyond anyone's expectations. He studied retail conventions, then broke every rule that didn't make sense. Ben Franklin stores were required to buy inventory from company outlets, but Sam found a contract loophole allowing him to source cheaper merchandise elsewhere. He slashed prices way below competitors and made profit through volume instead of margin. It took him years to fully appreciate the power of this strategy, but it worked immediately. His brother Bud joined him, and together they ran the store brilliantly. In the first full year, sales hit $105,000, a 45% increase. The next year, $140,000. By year 3, $175,000. Within 5 years, Sam had repaid his father-in-law's loan completely and become the leading variety store owner in Arkansas. But then disaster struck. The landlord, P.K. Holmes, watched Sam build this thriving business and decided he wanted it for himself. Specifically, he wanted to set up his sons to run it. When Sam's lease expired, Holmes simply refused to renew it. Because Sam had foolishly signed a lease without a renewal clause, he had no legal recourse. Holmes offered to buy the store from Sam instead. Sam was devastated. In his autobiography, he called it the lowest point of my life. I felt sick to my stomach. I had built the best variety store in the whole region, worked hard in the community, done everything right, and now I was being kicked out of town. His wife Helen loved Newport. 3 of their 4 children had been born there, but it didn't matter. Sam had to pack up and start over from scratch. Chapter 3: The Walmart Model, Building the Empire. In summer 1950, Sam opened a new store in tiny Bentonville, Arkansas, population 3,000. This time, he insisted on a 99-year lease. He called it Walton's 5 and Dime. Locals whispered, "We'll give this guy 60 days, maybe 90. He won't last." But Sam would prove them spectacularly wrong. He brought his low-price strategy from Newport and refined it further. He discovered self-service shopping, letting customers pick items themselves instead of asking clerks to fetch them. This innovation slashed labor costs and allowed even lower prices. Within a year, his income tripled. With profits rolling in, Sam expanded aggressively. By the end of the 1950s, he owned 15 stores across Arkansas, all profitable. But Sam sensed something bigger. The real opportunity wasn't small variety stores. It was massive discount stores in small towns. At the time, discount stores existed only in big cities and only discounted select items. Sam envisioned something revolutionary. Huge stores that discounted everything and placed them in rural communities ignored by major retailers. He pitched this idea to the Ben Franklin Franchise Company. They rejected it flat. Too risky, margins too thin. So Sam mortgaged his house, borrowed heavily, and on July 2nd, 1962, opened the first Walmart in Rogers, Arkansas. Customers in small towns were thrilled. Finally, they didn't need to drive hours to cities for discount prices. They flocked to Walmart in droves. Sam kept innovating relentlessly. He replaced wooden shelves with cheaper, more durable metal ones. He kept stores open longer than competitors. He provided massive free parking lots. He located warehouses close to stores for one-day delivery. By 1970, Walmart went public, raising $5 million while the Walton family retained 61% ownership. This capital fueled explosive expansion. Between 1970 to 1980, Walmart exploded from 18 stores to 276 stores. They were opening nearly 100 stores per year. Sam treated employees as partners, offering profit sharing and stock options, which created fierce loyalty. By 1990, Walmart operated over 1,500 stores with 371,000 employees and $26 billion in sales. Sam Walton had built the largest, most powerful retail force in history. Chapter 4: The Quiet Billionaire Dynasty. Sam Walton died April 5th, 1992 at age 74. At his death, Walmart generated $104 billion in annual revenue. But here's what makes the Walton story remarkable. Sam lived modestly. He drove an old pickup truck, wore simple clothes, lived in a normal house in Bentonville. Even as he became one of America's richest men, Sam avoided ostentation. He famously got haircuts at the local barbershop for $5. This wasn't an act. Sam genuinely believed showing off wealth was wasteful and set a bad example. But while Sam lived humbly, he ensured his family would control Walmart's wealth for generations. When he died, Sam left his fortune carefully structured in trusts to minimize taxes and maintain family control. Today, the Walton family is worth a combined $247 billion, more than Elon Musk, more than Jeff Bezos, more than entire countries. Sam's children, Rob, Jim, Alice, and the late John, each inherited massive stakes. Their wealth is so vast, it's almost incomprehensible. The Walton family collectively earns about $4 million per hour from Walmart dividends alone. That's $100 million per day, every single day. They own over 50% of Walmart stock, giving them controlling power over a company that employs 2.1 million people and generates $572 billion annually, making it the world's largest company by revenue. And unlike tech billionaires whose wealth exists mostly on paper as stock value, the Waltons receive billions in actual cash dividends every year year. But the Waltons maintain Sam's philosophy of living relatively quietly. They don't build mega yachts or buy sports teams. They invest in art, real estate, and philanthropy. But always understated, the family established the Walton Family Foundation, which gives billions to education, environmental conservation, and community development. Yet despite their charitable work, the Waltons remain controversial figures in American life. Chapter 5: The Walmart Effect and the Criticism. Walmart revolutionized retail in American consumer life. It brought low prices to millions of working-class families, making everything from groceries to electronics more affordable. Studies show Walmart saves American consumers billions annually through lower prices. But this success came at enormous cost. When Walmart enters a town, local small businesses often can't compete with its prices, and scale mom-and-pop stores that served communities for generations shut down. Entire downtown shopping districts collapse. Critics call this the Walmart effect, the hollowing out of local economies and communities. Walmart has faced decades of criticism for labor practices, low wages that force many employees onto government assistance, aggressive anti-union tactics, part-time scheduling that avoids providing benefits, and allegedly discriminatory practices. Critics argue the Walton family built their $247 billion fortune on the backs of underpaid workers while taxpayers subsidize employee healthcare and food stamps. Walmart's environmental impact is massive. As the world's largest retailer, its supply chains affect global manufacturing, shipping, and waste production. The company has made sustainability commitments, but critics say progress is too slow. Sam Walton himself acknowledged the criticism about destroying small retailers, saying small stores were destined to disappear because the whole thing is driven by customers who are free to choose where to shop. He wasn't wrong. Customers chose Walmart's low prices. But that doesn't erase the social cost. Today, Walmart dominates American retail so thoroughly that entire sectors of the economy depend on it. The Walton family built more than a company. They built an empire that fundamentally restructured how America shops, works, and lives. Whether you see that as progress or tragedy probably depends on which side of the cash register you're standing on. One thing is certain, a poor farm boy from the Depression era changed America forever, and his family will quietly control a piece of that empire for generations to come.